And I have not read any of these either. Wow, I have read a total of one book on the nominees list. That's so embarrassing. That's so embarrassing. Hello, everyone. It's me, B. Welcome back to my channel where I talk about things that I'm interested in. And today I am talking about the Goodreads Choice Awards of 2024. I am going to officially vote on my favorite. I'm just going to give you a heads up for this video. Never, ever in the entire time that I have been a reader online have I ever read all of the Goodreads Choice Awards books. So I'm going to go into this based on the books that I have already read or what I have heard good things about. If I make a vote that I have of a book I haven't read, I'm sure there are people who have read all of the books, but I certainly haven't. So I'm just going to cast my vote based on vibes. And you know what? Millions of other people are going to do the same, probably. So let's get into this. Goodreads Choice Award, cast your vote. Here we go. What's going on in the categories? We've got fiction, we've got historical fiction, we've got mystery, thriller, we've got romance, we've got horror, we've got science fiction. Ooh, I see something I've read. That's good. We've got fantasy, romantasy. We have debut novel. We have audiobook. Okay. We have young adult fantasy, which I don't think I'm up to date on my young adult fantasy. Young adult fiction. That's interesting. We have 2 categories for young adults this year. That's pretty cool. Nonfiction, memoir, history, and biography. We do not have a middle grade fiction, which is a little sad, I think. That's a little disappointing, you know? It's the way the trends are going. I can't deny that, like, Goodreads is always following the trends of readers. And so, like, when you look back at the 2011 awards and you see categories like, you know, the favorite book of 2011 was Divergent. That's pretty nuts. You had categories like food and cooking, travel and outdoors, picture books. You had a picture book category, for Christ's sake. You had a graphic novel category. We didn't get a graphic novel category this year. That's also a little depressing. We have had poetry. We don't have a poetry category this year. Wow, I didn't even realize how many categories we used to have. I feel old, but maybe it's a good thing. You never know. Maybe it's a good thing that they have reduced the number of categories because, you know, it fits more with the readers of our time period. I'm not going to read too much into it because honestly, I don't really know, and I can't pretend to know, you know? I have like assumptions I could make. I have hypotheses I could produce, but to be frank with you, who knows? Who knows why people don't read anymore? All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about the fiction. Vote in the opening round. Are we starting with fiction? We're starting with fiction. So here's the thing. I have not read any of these books. I think if I were going to read any of them, it would be Sally Rooney's Intermezzo, which is probably the one that's going to win. But I've also heard really great things of Margot's Got Money Troubles. I have heard that that is pretty good. I have heard good things about this though too. Same as It Ever Was. I've heard that one. A lot of female authors on this list. That's pretty cool. That's kind of nice. A lot of female authors to see. We've got some diverse authors too. It's kind of exciting. And then of course we've got, you know, some pillars of the reading community. Ellen Hildebrand and Leanne Moriarty are really long-time publishers. That's kind of interesting. Okay, well, this is my full reaction. I'm going to vote. I think I'm going to vote for the one I would most likely read next. Let's do that. We're going to go for Sally Rooney's Intermezzo. It's probably going to win. I feel kind of confident that that might be a winner just because it has been on so many people's lists. All right, next category, historical fiction. Oof. Once again, I haven't read any of these books. And I have heard really great things about a lot of these books. I've heard great things about There Are Rivers in the Sky, Bullet Swallower, Husbands and Lovers, James. And I don't know which one I would have read next. This is another tough one. I think I'm going to go. Oh, but I did want to read Jodi Picoult. That is one that I did want to read because of the Shakespearean element there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and vote for this one. I don't think a lot of other people are going to vote for it, but I'm going to vote for it because I'm a Romeo and Juliet fangirl. And I also really want to read this book. It's probably the one that I would read next out of all of the books on this list. Okay, mystery thriller. Fingers crossed I've actually read one. Maybe I read one this year? No. 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 Nope, 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 no. I didn't realize that was a thriller. That's interesting. It is on my to read list. Is this one on my to read list? But I've heard things of that one, of The Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker. I have never read any of Frida McFadden's books, so I don't even know where this one like lands in her work. Seen a lot of this one going around. Riley Sager, again, I haven't read any of Riley Sager, and I have heard a lot about this one. However, it kind of looks like the only one that's on my to read list is The Night We Lost Him. So it's not on my to read list. I'm going to say, since it's probably the only one that's on my to read list right now, we're going to go for it. These all look really popular though, so I can't even begin to imagine which one will win. Next up is romance. Okay. The good news is that I have read some of these authors, so maybe that'll help. But I haven't read any of these books. Wow, Ali Hazelwood's on here twice. Ali Hazelwood got a second spot for Bride and for Not in Love. Impressive. Any other repeat offenders? It doesn't look like it. There's only one Emily Henry so far. This is the sequel to Butcher and Blackbird, which I've heard really good things about. Elsie Silverd's Wild Love, I've heard really good things about too. And of course, I have read Abby Jimenez, and I do really enjoy Abby Jimenez's work. Man, this one's going to be a tough one. I wonder where it's going to go. It could go to Emily Henry, but obviously Ali Hazelwood has an upper hand here since she's got two on the list. But then I hear the Anna Huang girls are going to be like, girlies are going to be all over this. Yeah. A lot of people have been talking about these books. I think I'm going to vote for Abby Jimenez. Is she on my one to read? No, because I really don't even know where to start. I read a short story by Abby Jimenez, and it was one of the short stories that I really enjoyed. So I definitely think she's an author I would go to in the romance category. And I did read an Emily Henry book this year, so I could vote for Emily Henry. But I don't know if this book is as good as the other Emily Henry books that I've read. I'm going to do Abby Jimenez. I'm just going to vote Abby Jimenez. I'm going to do it. This could go anywhere. This could really go anywhere. These are all really popular romance books. Romantasy. I'm not going to have read any of these books. I can tell you right now. Okay, wow. I thought I was reading this whole time. Apparently I was wasting time. It's crazy how similar all of these covers are. They are also similar. This is the sequel to The Assistant to the Villain, a Sarah J. Maas book. This one looks cute though. Cottagecore Tale. Ooh. I definitely think that's one I would read. And this one looks cute too. Okay, I'm going to go off vibes for this one because I think that there are going to be other books on this list that get it. And I'm going to try to at least put my name in for the ones that I think deserve it, right? I think they're going to be one of these two because I think they're really cute and cozy. I'm going to go with The Spell Shop. Really cute and cozy. Definitely would probably read it out of this category next, especially since a lot of these look really serious. And this one and The Honey Witch both look kind of like a little bit more my like vibe. Fantasy. Come on. Maybe I read one fantasy. Did I read at least one? No. But I did read some of these authors recently. I read Veronica Roth this year, and I do want to read this one. This is one I want to read. But also, Leigh Bardugo's The Familiar is not on my to-read list. That's interesting. But I loved Ninth House. should want to read this. This is on my to be read too. Oh, I didn't realize that. It's a dark academia, which means it'd probably be a big one for me. Wow, another tough category to go off of. I think it's going to either be between, did I put Let Grow From on my list? I did. And I don't even know how I feel about that because I haven't even finished the Magician's trilogy yet. I think I have to go again with what I would read next. And honestly, what I'm feeling about reading next out of these, it's going to be Veronica Roth. It's going to be the Veronica Roth. I really did enjoy her short stories, and I feel like I could do something else. Like I could try to read something of hers and like fully cleanse my palette of the Divergent series. I'm going to go with Veronica Roth. I don't think it's going to be the winner. I think probably Leigh Bardugo or maybe even the Somewhere Beyond the Sea might win. I think the Leigh Bardugo is going to win though. Oh, but then there's the Book of Doors. Bunch of books on here I want to read. Next category, science fiction. Okay, I have actually read one of these books. This is so exciting right now. But let's take a look at all of the books. Oh, Jeff Vandermeer's on there. I haven't read it yet. Okay, why is it not on my want to read yet? That's like crazy. I absolutely want to read this, like immediately. I want to read that book so bad. Oh my God, and Jasper Ford's on here? That's so exciting. I didn't know it got published. I can't believe it wasn't on my list. Can't believe it wasn't on my list. That's so exciting. I love Jasper Ford. He's one of my favorite authors. Probably my only favorite British author at this point. We're not going to talk about it. We're just going to move on. I do want to read this book. But the one book that I actually have read on this list, I feel it necessary for me to vote for, the one that I've actually read, which was Annie Bot by Sierra Greer. That was a good book too. That was such a good book. I love that book. That was so much fun. I really, really enjoyed that book. But I do think it probably will go elsewhere. I don't think Vandermeer will get it, but it could be Ministry of Time. That's a big one. Or maybe even the James Corey one. All right, let's keep going. Horror. Again, I haven't read any of these books. I do mean to read some of these books. If I was going to read anyone next, it would probably be either because that's the sequel. It would be The Eyes Are the Best Part. That would be the one that I read next. I think that's the one that I'm going to vote for because on here right now, that's the one I want to read next. We're going to vote for it. I don't know if that'll go to it. It could go to that. Debut novel. I don't think I read any debut novels this year. No, I didn't read any of these debut novels this year. Some of these are repeats. And that's interesting. And the Ministry of Time is on there. I thought I had it on my want to read. I definitely think the Ministry of Time would be the next one to read. And I already gave a vote to The Eyes Are the Best Part. So I feel like that should be the next one. I think I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go with Ministry of Time. These all look really good though. And I think I'm going to have to put Greta and Valdine on my want to read list. I think I'm going to have to put Book of Doors on my want to read list. We're just going to go ahead and do it. I can't believe I didn't do this earlier, but I probably should have. We're getting close to the end. Audiobook. I haven't listened to... Oh, wait, they've got a 1984 audiobook. The one that I just came out. Maybe that's odd. That's interesting. Lisa Marie Presley audiobook. That might be a good one. I might vote. Oh, but then Whoopi Goldberg also had an audiobook. If I were going to listen to any of these on audio, it would probably be Revenge of the Tipping Point. That's interesting. I probably would want to read that. But then I've also heard this is really good as an audiobook. I think I'm going to go with Malcolm Gladwell because I don't think it's going to win. but I do really want to read that book, and it's not on my list, so I'm going to go ahead and put it on my list right now. Okay, young adult fantasy. Immortal Dark is young adult. Why is it not on my to be read shelf? I literally have it on hold at the library right now. I didn't realize that was young adult. That's interesting. Do want to read Don't Let the Forest In. That has been on my to be read shelf. Haven't read the Divine Rivals or the sequel. Wisteria is supposed to be really good. And then, of course, the Bryan Sanderson is up there. That might be the winner. I think I'm going to go ahead and put Immortal Dark on there because I think it is the next book out of these that I will read because I have it on hold at the library and I'm waiting for it to come in. And I don't think it's going to win. I think probably the Brandon Sanderson is going to win. We'll see. All right, we're on the last one, I think. Young adult fiction. No, and then we've got nonfiction. Oh, no. Okay, so we have nonfiction, memoir, and history biography. Okay. General young adult fiction. That looks good. So is it on my list? No. Heartstopper Volume 5. That one might win. The Holly Jackson might win, though. Where Sleeping Girls Lie, actually. That's one that I do want to read. I'm surprised it's not on my read shelf right now because I swear I put it on there. This one sounds super interesting. This one sounds so good. I actually might be reading that one out of these books. Oh, and then there's Most Ardently. Oh, that's young adult too? They put that under young adult? Is it young adult? I guess it is. It's a trans boy. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and vote for Where Sleeping Girls Lie just because that's the one I feel the most drawn to. Because I've heard it's really good. The synopsis of it has just like got me so good. Oh, Dungeons and Drama. What? We have to look at this book right now. This is so cute. Musical lover Riley has big aspirations to become a director on Broadway. Crucial to this plan is to bring back her high school spring musical, but when Riley takes her mom's car without permission, she's grounded and stuck with the worst part of spending afternoon hours working at her dad's game shop. She falls in love with a gamer. Oh, that's so cute. I want to read this. This is so cute. Oh my gosh. Put it on my list right now. That is adorable. Still would probably read that first. Nonfiction. That one, I don't think I've read any of these. I did already vote for Malcolm Gladwell. So that one might not get it. I did hear good things about this. Oh, the Ta-Nehisi Coates. I think I'm going to vote for there's this one though too. But Ta-Nehisi Coates has been on my list for a while. So I think I'm going to go with the Ta-Nehisi Coates. I do really want to read that. I also, though, really want to read this. I do really want to read I'm Sorry for My Loss. That's another big one I really want to read. But I think I might have to take some time reading that one. That one might be a little difficult for me to read. All right, memoir. I have not read any memoirs this year, but if I were going to read any of these memoirs, honestly, maybe this one, maybe Amy Lynn. But honestly, none of these. Okay, maybe RuPaul's memoir. Actually. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and put that on my list. And I'm going to go ahead and vote for that. Because I think that that's going to be the one that I would read next out of these. History and biography. And then this is it. This is the last category. And I have not read any of these either. Wow. I have read a total of one book on the nominees list. That's so embarrassing. Let's get to it. What's going to be the one that I vote for this final category for history and biography? A lot of these kind of seem a little sad, except for this one. This one seems sweet and happy. And then there's a Marie Curie. Actually, that one does look really good. This seems like, yeah, it's heartbreaking. I don't know if I can handle that. Oh, the Kennedys. Oof, again, I don't know if I can handle that one. Okay, we're gonna vote for the bookshop. I don't think it's gonna win, but it's got the best vibes. And it's definitely gonna be one that I read next. So do I get to look at all the ones I voted for now? Okay, so we have Sally Rooney for favorite fiction. We have By Any Other Name, Jodi Picoult for the historical fiction. I'm happy with both of those picks. The Night We Lost Him for mystery thriller. Abby Jimenez for the romance. Sorry, Emily Henry. Sorry. Who's the other person I was going to vote for? Allie Hazelwood. Allie Hazelwood's probably going to get it, so I don't feel sorry for her. Okay. Spell Shop for Romantasy. All right, next is fantasy. I voted for the Veronica Roth When Among Crows because I do really want to read that one next. Annie Bot, the one book I have read this year on the nominees list. The Eyes Are the Best Part for Best Horror. Ministry of Time for Best Debut Novel. Revenge of the Tipping Point for Best Audiobook. Immortal Dark for Young Adult Fantasy. Where Sleeping Girls Lie for Young Adult Fiction. The Message by Ta-Nehisi Coates for favorite nonfiction. And The House of Hidden Meetings by RuPaul for the favorite memoir. And finally, The Bookshop, History of American Bookstore for history and biography. I don't think that's bad. I feel really good about my predictions. Again, I've only read one of the books on the list. So really it's for me. It's for me to be like, okay, these are the winners, the ones that I would want to read next, because I'm going to try and read them next in sometime in the near future. Sometime. I'm not going to say in the next year because I think that's setting me up for failure, to be quite honest with you. That's my Goodreads Choice Awards. I hope you enjoyed this to watch just a regular Jane Schmo read the Goodreads Choice Awards nominees and vote for them. If you voted, who'd you vote for? Was there like a top one for you? Who do you think is going to win? Let me know down in the comments, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.